Greetings, everyone. Um, as an extension from my movie memories um, set that I've been doing in recent months, I thought I'd add on something I like to call TV memories. And the first show I think I'd like to start with is Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Um, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, as it turns out, is my second favorite TV show of all time, and Joss Whedon really has shown his chops as a writer and director of the title character and the other characters within the show. The stories that inhabited Buffy the Vampire Slayer were really, just beyond the beyond, and the characters from the title character to Xander to Willow to Giles and everybody else has just been phenomenal. If I had one caveat against the show, the only thing I didn't like about the show is when they made Dawn a regular character. I never accepted Dawn as part of the Summers family. I never accepted Dawn as being just a regular teenager. She had that storyline of being quote unquote the power or whatever it was. So that was for me the only blemish. I dealt with her, but I didn't like her. But everything else, the only other thing would be not really caring for the first season, maybe a little bit the second season, because it was too close to the Buffy movie, which I thought was horrible. But after that, it was nothing but sevens and aces. Josh was able to pull off things that I didn't even think was possible for me to even like on a show like Buffy. There was an episode where everybody in Sunnydale, where all their voices were taken away. I think the characters that did it were called the Smiling Men. Kind of semi-skeletal characters, teeth always showing. But it was like 80%, 90% of the show was folks either discussing things in sign language or getting message boards or what have you. And if you were to ask me before the show came on if I'd be able to get into a show that was going to be that I was used to, that was going to be just silent for most of it, I would have said you were crazy. But as it turned out, it was one of my favorite shows on Buffy. One of my favorite episodes, I should say. And my favorite Buffy episode was an episode that I would never have thought that I would have liked even a little bit, but Joss Whedon was the person that made it work for me. Personally, I cannot stand musicals. I never did. But Joss made a musical version of Buffy, and that musical version for me had such lightness to some of the scenes and such emotion to some of the scenes that it ended up being my favorite episode of the entire show. And I can't speak highly enough about Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Sarah Michelle Gellar, pretty much an ideal pick. But every character in there, pretty much, except for Dawn, I felt was an ideal pick. But to talk about some of the characters, Xander, he was kind of a class clown, but he was able to pull it together when times got tough. Giles was kind of the able-bodied, non-psychic Professor X of the group that I thought was just like, you couldn't ask for a better mentor than Giles. Angel, of course. Anya, she was kind of a pain, but I thought she was a pain in a good way. Willow, who's had a number of key scenes herself in the show, I thought was excellent. I think my favorite character on the show, if I had to pick one, was somebody that was never, as far as I remember, was never a regular, but she did continue to go on in varying different arcs within the show, and that was Eliza Dushku's Faith, who also ended up, doing a few episodes of Angel as well. But that was the one thing that before, Josh rode off into the sunset, that I was kind of hoping that he would spin Faith off from Buffy. But, I guess some things just weren't meant to be. And I think my favorite bad guy on the show, I believe he was the Senator, and he ended up being like this giant serpent or something. And I don't know. It's just a piece of pop culture that I can't imagine something like that coming again and being successful. But anyway, for anybody else that's, Buffy fans, if you care to share why you like Buffy for the reasons you like it, or if you didn't care for it, I'm curious as to hear why that is also. So until next time, night out.